Blessed day to you all, my sports to the bone people. Back at it again with another video. Thank you all for tuning in. Well, it's the day after defeat. Should have been the fourth day of the first test, but guess what? Game's already done and dusted. So we're going to be taking a look at what Captain Roston Chase had to say after defeat. So just give a listening ear until the end and let me know your thoughts in the comment section. Now, I was listening to Roston Chase after the game, and he touched on some interesting points, some important ones. Talking about the team in general, and also showing support to Shamar Joseph. There was some hullabaloo leading up to the first test, and Roston Chase showed some support. So just let me know your thoughts in the comment section. No, She-Hope started. Roston Chase started off by saying, it's heartbreaking. It's heartbreaking to have lost that game because we started off so well, right? We started off the match well, so the result is heartbreaking. Man was saying that bowling out Australia for under 200, was definitely a good job by the bowlers. Very, very good performance by the bowlers. He was saying that losing the toss and having to bowl, they would take that every day of the week. They would take that type of performance every day of the week. I mean, losing the toss as a captain, being asked to bowl, and your bowlers go out there and put in such a performance, that's a whole lot of motivation for the batsmen to go in and really put up something good. I guess they needed more to motivate them, but Roston Chase went on to say that the plan was to get at least 100-run lead, right? At least get 100 runs. Man was saying getting them for what was that, 170. The opportunity was there to get at least 100 runs lead and try to set up the victory. They would come back in the second innings, try to bowl after getting at least 100 runs lead and thing. But it didn't work. It didn't work out at all. Said that it wasn't a good start, losing the batsmen early. And then he spoke about the partnership that he and She-Hope had put together. But then, dodgy calls got them out. So that definitely affected the game somewhat. He was saying, he was saying that set us back a bit, but they were able to go on and get the lead. So, it was all about just coming out and playing some good cricket in the second innings. But unfortunately, the team wasn't able to do that. He was saying that, they really let it slip, especially in the field. How can you not mention in the field when you drop 7 catches in a match? 7 catches going up against a team that is better than you, right? Man was saying that, we definitely didn't do too well there in the field. Said that the bowlers, they have worked really, really hard. They worked really hard throughout the 3 days, so it was just tough. It was a tough decision to take, or is a tough decision to take. He was asked about Shamar Joseph in particular, and he was saying that he's happy to see that Shamar Joseph, was able to go out there and bowl like that, especially after what was said by former Australian cricketer who is looking to stay relevant, right? Man is saying that it's, how Shamar Joseph performed, it just shows good strength, it showed character, showed determination, and he's happy that he was able to go out and perform like that after what was said. So good motivation there. He spoke about the second innings batting. He said that we didn't get off to a good start in the second innings, and we wanted a good start so they could chase, but we lost Craig Brathwaite quite early, he said, in the first over, and they were never able to get back in the game after that. I would say that Australia, their bowlers came to the party. Josh Hazelwood especially, he did well, but some of the wickets, I think we need to stay locked in. You understand? For example, if we have 2.5 days to bat to get 300 runs, you probably don't want to be playing outside the half stump trying to ramp a ball over your head. You understand? Obviously, you want to score. You're not just staying there. You want to be attacking. But that's probably not the best idea, right? And we definitely need to try and find a way to chase. You understand? We have good bowlers, but if the bowlers go out there and do their jobs, we still need the batsmen to come and make sure that they are holding up their end of the thing also. And I mean, if the specialist batsmen were able to just see it out, we probably see out the at least go into day 4. Who knows? We probably would have gotten closer. Chase was saying that the aim was to see off the new ball because they realized that the ball was doing some stuff when once new. So the aim was to see it off and then try to take it from there. But I said this in the video yesterday, my people, and it might sound harsh, but we're only as good as we are. You understand? There's a reason you have one team up here and one team here. You understand? We can produce moments, but you have to be able to produce, right throughout the game to win. You can produce individual moments. You can produce a couple of moments here and there. That's going to be high point. But, is who can do it the most, the most consistently will win. And when you're playing something like a test match, you do very well in the first innings. If you can't back it up with good performance in the second innings, it's going to be very difficult. So, once again, I have to say hats off to the bowlers. They did really well. We saw Shamar Joseph with the ball, and then he came back in the end there and had a very good knock. I think it was 44 that he got. You understand? 4 4s and 4 6s, if I'm not mistaken, doing some excellent work with the bat. So all in all, we saw what we have been seeing for a little while now. The bowlers doing their thing, and then the batsmen falling short. I can't make it seem as if there is no credit. As if we are not giving Australia credit. They really fought hard and got back into the game, and that is what champions do, my people. Champions find a way to win. Champions find a way to really survive when their back is against the wall, and that is something this team will have to come to understand. I mean, we're trying new things. We're going up against Australia. It's tough, but we have to be able to capitalize whenever we find ourselves in positions where we can press home the advantage. Have to find a way to capitalize, my people. So, we look forward to the second test. There are a lot of things that we have to unpack in this one. Going to be doing a few other videos, touching on other things that happen throughout the game. But I just wanted to spend some time and talk about what Captain Roston Chase had to say about the game. One thing I'm happy with is that he came out, he spoke about the team in general, but he showed some support to his player who was being criticized prior to the game. And he also, slightly pointed out that there was some injustice business going on in the game. But the Australia won. They won. We have to give it to them, So I just saw the thing go. Big up.